Hi, welcome back to Learn Payload with Colin. That's me, Colin Brown. And yes, I'm showing my face today for the first time, and hopefully, maybe I'll keep doing it. I don't know. I'm just trying out new things. So, um, welcome to this channel. If you haven't come here yet, I'm Colin Brown, and I started this channel not too long ago with the goal of making my first 100 videos. Specifically on learning payload, and that's what we've been doing in the last 8 videos, and now we're on our 9th. We're going through the topic of global configs, and part 1 we just introduced global configs, what were they and how to get started with those. We added a general settings page, kind of similar to what you would expect like in another CMS like WordPress, where you have your site title, tagline, maybe an admin email address or something, or other types of site-wide preferences and settings. And that's what we've used. What we're using global configs for. Now all the way up to we set up the general settings, and then we added a logo to the general settings, and that showed us how you would relate uploads to the media collection, and then we also did caching and revalidation in the part 3. And so be sure to check those out if you have not yet, because part 4 is going to be building on top of that. But part 4 we're going to be talking about adding menus, and so menus are going to be part of our global system. So in our header, of course, you're going to want a menu, maybe in a footer. So just like WordPress, you have the ability to create any number of menus that you feel like your site needs. Typically a site needs a main menu, like for the header, maybe a footer menu, but maybe there's other reasons for menus that people have in a CMS. So we're going to create a system where you can create any number of menus, you label them, and then you query them on the front end, depending on where you think they're needed. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a menu called main menu. We're going to have that in the header. All right. So first I'm going to walk through, it's already completed. I'm going to show you what we're going to end up with, and then I'm going to back out of all of that code, refresh the database, and then start adding from scratch, adding the menus back. Okay, so let's check that out. All right, now we're on our website, running locally, and like I said, we added the title and the tagline and the logo, and now we have this menu as well. So, which is pretty cool. It's not tied to any actual page; it's just a static menu. But if you go into the admin panel, you can see there we have the main menu. And you can open this up and you can see that there's an item here called About. If you add one more, let's call this Contact. Hit Save. And then head over back to the front end. And you should be able to, yeah, see that we have About and Contact. So that's all we're going to do today, and we're gonna, like I said, we're going to back out of all of that code and start from scratch. All right, be right back in a second. Okay, we're back where we left off on part 3 of global configs. We have general settings, but we don't have the menu system yet. So yeah, no menu, and we have our logo and title and tagline. And that is it. Let's go into the code. So let's get started adding a menu. And so a menu obviously is going to be part of our global system. And we have our general settings under global, so we're going to create another folder called, we'll just call it navigation. And then config.txt. TS. And if you look under, we'll just copy some of this. So we'll get started with that. We're going to add that now to our payload config over in our globals. And we'll add this navigation. Save that. Head on over back to admin and see, and there it is. We have our navigation. And yeah, so well, I made a mistake. This actually needs to be an array field because we want multiple menus. And so name, I should be able to add more than one navigation. And so that should fix our navigation. There we go. Now we can add a menu. And in this case, it's going to be main. And then you look at our API, and there it is. All right, so now we need menu items for this menu. Head on over back to our code. And let's see. Shoot. All right, so we need menu items. So we're going to need another array. So we're going to just copy this. And we're going to add that to here. And we're going to call this menu items. And then for this, we need a label, which will just be text. That's going to be required. And then we need URL. That's text, and that will also be required. And let's see what happens when we look up our admin page. Go back over here. All right, so now we have menu items. So we can say about / about. Okay, and we'll just add one more. Contact. And let's take a look at the API. There it is. We have main, menu items. All right, now we're ready to add it to our front end. So all right, so what do we do here? We, just like we did with general settings, we need some queries. So let's add, co-located queries. We're going to do a similar thing for navigation. We're going to create a queries. And basically, we can probably copy most of this. And let's see, what do we do differently? We do navigation. And see, because payload is type safe, it automatically regenerated our types. And if you hover over this type, this global type, it knows that we have just two global configs, one called general settings and one called navigation. So you can't accidentally do typos and stuff like that. So we have navigation. Slug. So this is the raw local API query. This is the cached version. If you're just joining us, my previous video, part 3 on global configs, goes into detail on what all this caching and revalidation is all about. So make sure to check that out if you have not seen that yet. So I explain all of that. So we have our cache tag. So now what we need to do is we need a provider. So in a previous global config video, we talked about context providers. I really like them. It's just a preference of mine. You're welcome to manage global data, global state in any way that you prefer. But this is the way I like to do things. I like to have special, like global type data, like navigation and site settings and things like that. Environmental type stuff that's usually going to be on every request. I'll definitely think about using a provider for that. So just a quick recap. I have a providers file in my main layout, and then in here I have a settings provider, which is what gives us hooks into being able to get to our general settings that we set up in global configs. And now we're going to add another one in a new provider for navigation. So we'll just copy this and we'll call this navigation provider. Save that. And so head on back over to the main providers and we'll add this in here. We say const navigation equal settings navigation. Okay, so let's just do a quick sanity check here on this data and head back on over to the browser. Open up our dev tools here. Okay, here's navigation. See if I could zoom in there. So we have navigation, great. Menus, we have our menu, we have the menu name, and we have menu items with IDs and links and labels. Great. So let's go back to adding it to our code. All right, and so we can get rid of that. Now what we want to do is wrap our children navigation provider children, and then we say navigation equals navigation. There. Cool. All right. So far, nothing is broken. Yeah, looks good. All right. Let's see. So now we need to add the navigation to our header. And we don't actually need use client here. But let's create a new component called navigation. And let's see. We'll call it main menu. We'll call it main menu. main menu. And now we're going to pull in our navigation. Use navigation. And we should const main menu I think we call it, it's uppercase right now. What is here? Null or undefined navigation menus, possibly null. Yeah. Let's do this. Navigation. We'll add one more escape clause in here. I want to ensure that we have at least one menu in this app. So that's just my personal preference. Then you can say dot menus. This is going to be either null or undefined, and it would have to be well, I'm going to punt on this for now. And I'm not sure why that's saying null or undefined when it's clearly not going to be the case. All right, well, we'll just hard code that for now. So we have our main menu. And so now we should be able to or key equals item.id. Great thing about payload arrays is that they come with their own IDs, so unique identifiers. So that's great. And now we do href equals item.url and item link main menu, possibly undefined. All right. We're going to punt on that as well for now. And that should be it. I don't know if we need that either. No, I guess we do. All right, let's head back over to the browser. Reload. And where's our menu? Oh, we didn't import it. We did not import it yet. We didn't import main menu. So let's go back to our header and go over here, main menu. All right, back over to our front end. Undefined. Okay, let's figure this out. All right, main menu, menu name. Oh. Interesting. I just console log the main menu just to make sure we have the data. And let's see here. open this up. Main menu undefined. Okay. So let's go up the ladder. Menus, menus. Menu name. Okay, I know what's going on. I didn't completely refresh my database. This is from a previous project. I think it's because it's cached actually. This is coming from our cache from a previous version of our database. And so I think I have a solution for that. We're going to clear the cache. And let's do that through, let's see, globals. We need to clear the cache, and we can do that through navigation, queries, and then let's just call this something else for now. I think this is going to fix this. So we've updated that. Let's actually also change the slug for now. For now, let's see here. Let's do this. And one. I'm crossing my fingers that this is the solution to the problem. So let's try it. Okay. I think that was that was the problem. It was cached data, so apologize for that little bit of a detour, but now we have everything back in order. We have our name is main, we have our menu items, and you can see here we have menu items. All right, so let's go back to code and just kind of clean that up a little bit, and then I think we'll wrap it up. I have all of this code in the actual format and organization. This is actually more cleaned up in my repo. So just if you want to get to the source code of the proper version of all of this, go ahead and go to the link in my description. I'll have it there for you. All right. All right. Thanks for stopping by. That was Global Configs Part 4, and we just added some menus, and so I really appreciate you spending some time and giving me your attention. If you find that valuable and you can't wait for the next video, of course, subscribe and you'll be notified for the next one. And so we have a lot of plans coming up for, we're building a solid foundation, I believe, in this series. And I really like this sort of slow, organic kind of approach. It's more methodical, and it's giving me confidence to keep moving forward, knowing that I have this sort of solid base. We're just, every step of the way, just really kind of building those Lego bricks along the way. And it seems a little slow, but I feel like, yeah, we're really building something here with a solid foundation. And if you think so, let me know. And or if you need me to do something different, there's something else you want to learn, or if I'm not covering something in enough detail, of course, let me know. I'll be happy to squeeze something else in. And but yeah, we're moving forward, and I appreciate your attention on this. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.